Hi friends! I'm so happy you're here today because I have kind of a massive book haul. These are a mix of new books, new releases, with some ARCs and used books, lots of used books. I actually found a new used bookstore near me. Well, it's not really near me, it's a bit of a drive, but I ended up going there and spending some money and finding some good used books. So let's get right into it because it is kind of long, and again, I don't know the premise of all of these books. A lot of these books are just cover buys, honestly, especially the used bookstore ones. So I'm not going to really start in any particular order. Let's see if this will fall. Starting with Robert McCammon books, of course. I had to get Swan Song because I read it for Kelsi's book club pick for this month, and I did listen to the audio, but it was nice to have the book to kind of go along. Like if I wasn't sure how a name is spelled or anything like that, I could go in and look at it. And also this cover is sick, and it also ties in with the book. Like a scene like this does happen in the book, so that's awesome. And then Gone South. I think I got these super cheap off of eBay. I think it was like $3 plus shipping for both of them. So a really good deal. I wonder why this isn't under horror pocket. Maybe Gone South isn't horror. Both of these aren't categorized as horror, which is kind of weird to me. But anyways, I got some Robert McCammon to live my Robert McCammon best life. And then episode 13 by Greg DeLuey. This is a new release I from at the beginning of February. I honestly forgot that I ordered this. So I did order this for Amy's book club pick from Amy Newell for this month. I haven't read it yet. I've kind of been saving it because I'm hearing such great things about it. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this next week. I'm so excited. Maybe when this is out, I probably would have already read that, honestly. And then at the used bookstore, I got The Bat by it, Joe Nesbo. Actually got this at a thrift store a while ago. I got this because for some reason I was like, is that a giant bat on this? Is this a bat attacks book? And then I was like, wait, Joe Nesbo doesn't write animal attack books? What am I thinking about? Ignore me. That's like a totally like paperbacks from hell clueless thing. No, this is just a crime novel. Like, what am I thinking? It does look like a bat though, and it's called Bats, and there's a giant bat here, but it doesn't have anything to do with that, I bet. I don't know why I'm being so defensive about that. That bad. And then I got The Bad Seed by William March. I got this because I needed to hit a certain amount on thrift books, honestly, and I was like, I've never read it. I have seen the movie. I think I watched the movie because people were talking about it, I think, for our Halloween stuff. So I was like, I do need to see that movie, and I love the movie. Love the evil kid stuff that happens, so I'm very excited to read this. Also, this cover is great. It's like a doll. So yeah, can't go wrong with dolls on the cover of books for me. You guys know that. And then the next 3 books were sent to me by Bloodbound Books publishers. They saw my review on Instagram for They All Died Screaming by Christopher Triana, and they were like, do you want me to send you Toxic Love by Christopher Triana? And I said sure, but they ended up sending me 2 other books, which was very, very nice. And I did read this for my Halloween reading vlog already because I just had to with this cover and everything. So yeah, I had fun with that one. I gave it 3 stars, but I haven't read these 2 yet. This looks awesome. A Petite Mort, new adult horror from splatterpunk author. So this is like a short story collection, but it's such a great cover. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so this is just a bunch of splatterpunk short stories, which, knowing me with splatterpunk stuff and extreme horror, I tend to fly through it. They tend to be page turners for me. Like, I just have to see like how gross it can get, I guess. And then The City, which is a horror novel by S.C. Mendez, and I have no idea what this is about, but I'm excited to read it. It looks like it takes place in the early 1900s, so maybe like a noir detective horror story. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this, and thank you Bound in Blood Books for Bloodbound Books. I'm probably saying it wrong, for sending me those. That was so nice of you. And then I found at this bookstore, so this is all mixed up right now, but at this used bookstore, I found these two awesome books with awesome covers. I found a Ramsey Campbell, The Influence. Like, just, I mean, look at this freaking cover. I hope it's not, is it a glare? There was like a sticker on it I did get off, but there's like remnants of another sticker, but it is a doll with glowing eyes. Hello. And I did see Olly from Criminale talk about a Ramsey Campbell book kind of recently, so he's been on my radar at used bookstores and stuff, but this is a psychological horror, like occult book. There's lots of quotes on the back here from John Ferris, who's this other book that I got, Robert Blouch, and Clive Barker. So I'm so excited to read this. I know it's not a paperback. It is in hardback, but still the cover is golden. And then John Ferris, The Uninvited, I got as well. The Fury is what, sorry for the glare. It's like crazy sunny today for some reason. I don't know why. So author of The Fury, and this again is a psychological horror occult book, so I'm super excited to read these, especially The Influence. I've never read a Ramsey Campbell, but I'm super excited, and hopefully I could like do a cool picture on Instagram or something with it and get this sticky off. If you guys have any recommendations how to get this stuff off, remnants of a sticker, please let me know. There was a big one here and I got that off. I was so gentle with it, but yeah, super happy I found these out in the wild. And then my local used bookstore, the one that's very close to me that I'm in way too much, I ended up finding some used books there. I got the Carnosaur, why did I think it was The Carnosaur, by Harry Adam Knight. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I actually picked this up before Andrew from It Came From The Page announced Dinosaur March. I will link his channel down below in that video. But all dinosaur books in March, very exciting. So I'm planning on doing a dinosaur reading vlog. I'm going to read Raptor Red and probably this and watch some bad dinosaur movies. I'm super excited. I love dinosaurs. I have like a dinosaur bathing suit and dinosaur earrings that I wear. Yeah, it's fun. But this looks great. This is published by Valancourt Books. That's also why I picked it up. I saw it and I was like, oh snap. And I have no idea what it's about. I'm thinking it's about a dinosaur though. And then I got The Damnation Game by Clive Barker. I do not have this, and it hasn't quite been on my radar because I haven't heard the greatest things about it. People say it's slow, but honestly I had some store credit to burn and I have fun with Clive Barker books, so I picked up Damnation Game. Also from my used bookstore too, I ended up getting Primeval. This is short story collection, evil short story collection, a horror book short story collection. There's some Stephen King, Clive Barker, Peter Straub. I haven't really been a huge short story collection person, except for The Nest of Nightmares by Lisa Tuttle, but you know, it's going to start happening. I'm going to start to run out of horror books one day. I know it's gonna come pretty soon, so I better start reading these collections because I won't have any other choice left. I won't have anything left to read. That's what I told myself when I got that one. And then I found another short story collection by John Landigan, The Wide Carnivorous Sky. So yeah, I was super excited to get this. I think this is a story and then there's other stories in it. So yeah, I love John Landigan's The Fisherman. I read for Halloween. It is like one of the best cosmic horror books I've ever read, so I've been wanting to read more from him. So yeah, I saw this used at my local used bookstore and had to pick it up, and this is like an interesting cover. I feel like it's like shiny like a paperback but it's a hardcover. So yeah, super excited to read this. Okay, so some new releases that I had ordered. Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. This is the second book in the Jade series. I forget her last name. But yeah, After My Heart is a Chainsaw. This is book 2 and I haven't read it yet. I've just been putting it off because I've been doing so many other things. And yeah, I'm super excited to read it, but I haven't read it yet. And I always forget, this is technically a YA book. Yeah, My Heart is a Chainsaw. And it just always blows my mind that it is, because I always forget, because I was like, why is it so small? And I was like, oh yeah, it's technically a YA, Katrina. And then I had to get The Spite House by Johnny Compton. I've just been hearing such great things about this book. It's like a gothic horror book. And I hear awesome things. Look at how small it is. It's very tiny. I do know this is about a guy who's kind of down on his luck and he has to stay at a house with his family. And I don't know too much about it, about that, other than people are really liking it. And honestly, like, spite houses are real. And I'm living in one right now. So yeah. This one just called out to me. Love the cover. I'm so excited to read it. And the next 3 books are my book of the month picks from January, I think. I just got them in late, so of course I had to get Hell Bent. So this is the second book after Ninth House. I really liked it. It's like a dark academia ghosty vibe book. And then I got Sign Here by Claudia Lux. This is a horror comedy book, and I've actually been hearing mixed things about it. It's like people either don't like it or they really like it. So I'm really excited to read this. Sometimes horror comedies do not work for me, but sometimes they do. So I'm very excited to get to this. Also, this cover is excellent. And then I got All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. I read Flicker in the Dark and I actually enjoyed it for how cliche of a thriller it was. It was like, what is every cliche done in a thriller? I'm gonna do it. So I was kind of excited about this second book. And I do know the MLM book club, which is Lexie from Books with Lexie, Michelle from Michelle's Library, and Monica from A Little Bit of Monica. It's book club pick for this month. Yeah, I think their live show is like in 5 days, so I have to read this like right now. But this is about a woman that her son is missing. And she is like an insomniac or something. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this for MLM book club. Oh my gosh, my ADD. I just looked down at the back of this. It's so great. It's like a trap and then just blood. So of Sign Here. Yeah, so even more excited to read Sign Here. So there's a stack of books on the chair behind me here. I don't know if I can hold them all, but they're all paperbacks that I got at that used bookstore. So whew, let's do this. Well, actually I found this one at the thrift store. My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews, and the stuff back in this, I just had to get it. I haven't heard the greatest things about My Sweet Audrina, but I mean, this is just great. I could look at this all day or get like some inspiration or something from it. It's just, there's so much going on with the rocking chair, the stuffed animals, the creepy, like I'm thinking this is like a father or an uncle or like something going on there. Something bad. And the spider webs, I absolutely love it. The gothic vibes. As you guys know, I read Flowers in the Attic pretty recently, and wow, that book is truly disturbing. So I've got these I found these small little guys actually at my thrift store of the Green Mile. I guess this is how it was released, was parts of 6 little, yeah, I don't know what they're called. A novel in 6 parts. So yeah, it starts off with 2 Dead Girls, The Mouse on the Mile, The Bad Death of Edward Delacroix, Coffee's Head, and Night Journey. My mom absolutely loved The Green Mile when I was growing up. It was my least favorite Stephen King, actually, because I felt like it wasn't scary enough. But my mom absolutely loved it. So I actually read this book at a very young age. But I think it's cool, like it's broken up like this. I've never seen it like that. And then I was sent an arc of Little Black Crimes. Or no, I was just sent, this isn't an arc, it's just a book. Little Black Crimes by Nathaniel. Blackhelm reached out to me and told me this is like a good horror crime book. So I was like, sure, I will read that. And how American is this cover? I mean, baby with a gun, hello. You know, we have babies with guns all the time. So I got Darkest Hour, more V.C. Andrews. This is a great little step back. I don't think this follows the Dollengradgers from Flowers in the Attic. This follows a different messed up family. So yeah, I was excited. This is the first thing I saw when I walked into the newer used bookstore that I found. I was like, they had a whole section of V.C. Andrew books, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to have found this place. And then I found Mind Stealer by Lee Duagon. I'm totally mispronouncing this last name, but this cover was great. So what I went through, this place was massive that I went to, and I just looked at the spines, and the spine, it has Pinnacle Horror on it. You probably can't see it, but the cover is great. It's this hot pink with the, what is this lettering called? Like emblazoned lettering. I'm probably just making that up. But yeah, it has this dude screaming in it. This was published in 1990. And I think it takes place in North Carolina, which is really cool. So I'm excited to read that one day. It's cool to find some vintage horror. And then I found the second book after Audrey Rose, For the Love of Audrey Rose by Frank Delafletti. So the Audrey Rose is about a guy that believes his daughter was reincarnated in this other daughter. I've watched the movie or attempted to watch the movie with Anthony Hopkins. It's so boring though. And I do know Audrey Rose was Paperbacks from Hell book club from Kelly Hooked on Books, and I did not read it because I just know I'm going to hate it. I know I'm gonna hate it, but I got the second one. No, I mean, this was super cheap. It was like $1, and the cover is just so good. Maybe I'll read them one day. I don't know. I haven't heard the greatest things, and I've already attempted to watch the movie. Who knows? And then I got The Deep by Peter Benchley, who wrote Jaws. I'm not too impressed with Jaws, honestly. So I don't even know why I picked this up, because the price is right. That's why I did it. And I don't know what this is about. I just know it's a terrifying new novel from Peter Benchley. Well, not new, now, right? And then I got The Taking by Donald Bayman. I don't know why I got this, honestly. It looks like it's horror. It just seems like it's about a guy who's kind of down on his luck. But again, the lettering's really cool, and the cover with the green I thought looked really cool. And then The Wanting by Campbell Black. This cover is fantastic. That is why I got it. I was so excited to find this, and it says on the back, the living, the dying, the wanting. And yeah, it just seems great. I don't know when this was published. It was published by Jove. I probably mispronounced. I've never even heard of that publishing company before. But yeah, it looks great, the cover, but knowing these type of books, it's probably horrible. But it was published in 1986. And I was so happy to find a James Herbert book, Haunted. I don't know what this is about. I've never read a James Herbert book. I really want to read Rats, but I've heard him compared to like a British Stephen King. I think I heard that on Olly's channel because he reads a lot of James Herbert. So yeah, I'm excited to get into some James Herbert. So this was the only one I could find there. And honestly, the cover is good, but the cover for some of his other books are like amazing. This has a shadow of somebody like going like this. That looks kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I have no idea what it's about, but I'm gonna read it. And then what is like a used vintage paperback haul without some John Saul in it. Comes The Blind Fury. I found this cover would be great, but there's like a sticker that's not a sticker on it. But yeah, I'm kind of mad about that. But what are you gonna do? So this is a child cries out in torment and terror from out of the past, from out of the mist. A terrible vengeance is born. And I'm gonna cover it up and go do do do. Sorry for the glare. I love the hot pink coloring on purple. It just screams by me. At $3.99, I did not pay $3.99 for it. I was so excited to find these at this place because you guys know I'm a big evil doll person. It is like one of my favorite things. And this always pops up on evil doll vintage horror list, and that is the Blackstone Chronicles. This is another serial terror. It just says that. I just read it like it's like a fact. But the first one is An Eye for an Eye, the doll, which is great. And then the next one is A Twist of Fate, the locket. And then we have Ashes to Ashes, the Dragon's Flame. And then In the Shadow of Evil, the handkerchief. A dirty handkerchief can be quite disturbing. And then Day of Reckoning, the stereoscope. I don't even know what a stereoscope is. I will find out one day when I read this. And then John Saul's The Asylum. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't think these are all connected. I think they're just little, maybe they're in the same town or something. Or they all are connected. I don't know, like haunted objects or something. I could see that, you know, a haunted handkerchief. Terrifying. And then another John Saul book I found was Creature. So yeah, I was excited to find this one. I have a ton of John Saul books. I've only read one of them. I read The Devil's Labyrinth, and honestly, I wasn't like a huge fan of it. So I hope his older stuff is better, and I have heard the older stuff is better. So I'm excited to read some John Saul. Maybe I'll do like a themed reading vlog with him in the future one day. And then I had to get this. I don't know what to get this because the cover isn't that great, but it just screams like 90s cheese. That's why. The Frankenstein Papers at last. The monster speaks. Do do do. Frankenstein. If you think you know the story, think again. Yeah, so definitely a Frankenstein retelling. And then it just screamed like, I don't know, like Tales from the Dark Side or something to me. So yeah, I was very excited to find this. It is a horror, but yeah, I just went through the spines and I bought everything that said horror. So there you have it. That was my kind of a massive book haul. I'm surrounded by books right now, a mix of new and vintage. Let me know if you've heard of any of these books. Are you planning on reading any of these books? And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye!